And we're live. We're on the internets.
All right, hello internet. Welcome
Woo.
again to our extra life weekend. That my name is Ninjaspence 21, and in that I will be running a Monster of the Week game, slashing through the snow in a one dead horse open sleigh. So anyway, then who do I have with me at the virtual table?
You can go first. I got to introduce a new character.
I'm Neysa does cosplay, and I'm playing this stud muffin over here, Arteloth Beckett, Ghost Knight Extraordinaire.
All right, and who is Miro playing, or else are we going to wait until in game?
I'm Miro, and I'll be playing the Searcher, Cyrus Bartholomew Downs.
Okay, Cyrus and Arteloth. Alrighty then, very well then. So I will do the adventure hook first, and then we will get to it. Because that the way how if that y'all have not been up in my Monster of the Week games, or else that this is your first time going into it, going just into it, I kind of sort of do like a little movie preview trailer sort of thing for my games. So basically, just to set up the scene. Okay. Down a windy night, an electrical engineer is inspecting cut wires. That this is the third time that this month, as the town of Natchitoches prepares for the 96th annual Natchitoches Christmas Festival. That the main attraction are the bridge lights that are a staple. As she begins to prepare the wire, a surge jolts her back. The air turns harsher as frost starts on the road. Panicked and hands injured through torn gloves, she runs towards the truck. However, as she gets to the truck, she is struck on the head as only the sound in the waking hours faints as the sounds of wind and power surges. So, who has a start of the mystery rolls?
I don't, but I have First Encounter. One strange event started you down this path, sparked your need to discover the truth behind. Decide what that event was. Okay, so I don't got to actually announce that out loud. Never mind.
Okay. All right, then. So I am going to.
Either.
Okay, good deal. So I am going to need each of you to just roll me just get a d6. Just roll one.
That is a 5.
5. Roll again. Rollies. Both of y'all got a 5. Roll again.
1s.
6. All right. Then. So Arteloth, that you are basically up in just at your garden district mansion, and then that you are kind of sort of glad in a sense that Dale had decided to go back to England for Christmas, for just Christmas, and then that I forget the name of like Emily's character, and then that
Ren.
Ren, yes, Ren. That Ren is basically that she is away on assignment. You get a voice message from just that your favorite state trooper that she says that she has a contact for you to contact down in Natchitoches, and that name will be Luther Roberts. He is the deputy that has basically stated then that there was a body with just some kind of like electrical burns, thrashing, and just a whole mess of stuff. And then that he needs some people to come down there and investigate, pretty much.
Alrighty. First thing I need to do is pull up MapQuest, because I have no the fuck idea where Natchitoches is.
Okay.
And second thing is I'm gonna need a ride.
Yes.
I don't drive.
Alrighty then. So where is Cyrus located at exactly?
Well, Cyrus might be in Monroe, could be anywhere. It doesn't really matter. Do I need to give you some background on Cyrus?
Just a little bit.
Okay, so Cyrus was a ghost hunter, one of a pair that was on the Christian broadcast channel. They did a Christian ghost hunting show called Soul Searchers. They were discredited for faking evidence of ghosts or trying to disprove ghosts. Um, the funny thing is the episode that got them canceled was the episode that proved ghosts were actually real. It's when they ran into an actual honest to God ghost. So he got discredited. He got fired from the network. He has tried to do a podcast about the supernatural and faith, using his initials, CBD Supernatural. His fandom though was really surprised and weren't they were looking for something else when they heard his initials connected to hunting ghosts. They thought it'd be something else. So he has sporadically been posting a quasi Christian supernatural podcast, and I think possibly so that we can link characters. Arteloth was the actual proof that ghosts exist that got caught, and they got accused of faking the evidence and fired.
Oh wow.
I think that would work if that's okay with Neysa.
I ruined your life.
No, you caused me to take a career change. Nothing can ruin your life, not in this world. Because truth be told, the next life is the one that's the most
Oh,
important.
All right, then. So,
I'm good with that.
Cyrus, if you would just roll me, just give me just
Oh,
give me a sharp roll.
11.
And 11. Okay.
Six,
So then
six,
that
6 and a 3 plus 2.
so you remember exactly whenever that y'all were filming at Soul Searchers, and then that y'all had went to this mansion up in the Garden district of just town, and then that you know exactly where that like Arteloth haunts, so to speak. But you know that it is like clearly everything is functional and stuff. You know that it even has like running hot water for some odd reason.
The ghost pays taxes, and we're still not sure exactly why.
Because it's
Uh,
legal.
I
all
am a
right.
tax-paying undead citizen of this nation, good sir, and I
All
am
right.
due my
Look, if
rights.
we don't have the taxes, then we don't have the electricity and the roads, and then my nephew can't come visit. That's a problem.
So, what were
So,
you saying, Keeper?
then that you just can easily like remember that your way to go there, and then that you know that you after being just like that, it has been like your holiday from like your podcasting and stuff, and then that you are just in the town, and then that you decided to use this time to try to go in and get some more information from like Arteloth about ghosts, ectoplasm, and then that the other stuff like that.
I have documented stuff about a weird crocodile that has happened, ice ghost. I've been documenting
Mm-hmm.
adventures that this group has had and listing it as evidence, and also uh, was trying to track down maybe the Rougarou down south, but was encouraged not to because someone personally knows them that the rest of the group has run into, and it would be a poor choice on my part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. So I guess I'm going to Arteloth's house to try to retrieve more information so I can do another season of my podcast. I got to get paid. I got to get paid by Bedaisy for running their ads. Manscape, the actual CBD gummies that thought offered me a was it what's that CBD gummy line that's like supposed to help you calm down? I don't know. They advertise on a bunch.
I don't need.
Uh,
Okay.
Keeps has asked me to advertise for them a couple times, but I mean, I'm not going bald to begin with, so I got to do something to keep that sweet, sweet podcast revenue coming in. So I need to go talk to the actual ghost.
All right. So then you can easily enough just find at the house and such, and you basically ring the doorbell.
Uh, I'll answer the door. Um, recognize Cyrus.
Oh wait,
And
do
describe what Cyrus
And
looks like.
Cyrus is a little over 6 foot tall, very broad in the shoulder and the upper body, but slims down towards the waist. Kind of looks like he might have skipped leg day. Has a set of big, thick black rimmed glasses and kind of a black, short but slightly slicked back hairstyle. He's wearing a T-shirt that's from his own failed merch line from the Soul Seekers TV show. It's just says Soul Seekers with two very stylized, bad angelic wings, like the ones that look like were dabbed on with sponges, like the pre-distressed. Like Christian Ed Hardy, slightly in form. He has a bunch of rings on his fingers, and I would have put mine on, but I couldn't figure out where my bag of costume rings from my steampunk days were. That might be in the attic. But more or less, just think, I'm pretty sure there is a ghost hunting individual that y'all can put in your mind that has all this accoutrement.
Yep.
Yep.
So, opening the door, seeing who it is, starting to close the door.
Puts one of my very thick motorcycle style boots down to
I am
block
going
it.
to need a contested act under pressure roll from both of y'all.
Oh, good. I get to use weird because Arteloth is technically not human. Because
I get nothing. That's not bad though.
That's a 7.
5 plus 4, 9.
Ooh. So basically that you try to get the door closed, and that that it just gets like the corner of just your pinky toe through these boots somehow, but then you don't take any damage or anything. It just closes.
I'll knock again.
I don't want you here. You're not welcome. Why are you here? Just why? What makes you think you could just show up on my doorstep? Why?
Well, I sent you an email, but then I remembered that you don't usually answer those at your nephew. But also, I still am having to reestablish my life after you kind of set me on a new life path and direction without much of my input or consideration. Also, you're like the only supernatural creature I know that doesn't try to kill me if I ask them questions.
You came to my house without permission, investigating a haunting that isn't a haunting. What did you think was going to happen?
Well, I had everything from the city and somebody signed off on it. What's his name? Daniel. I can't read this. His handwriting is terrible. Or it was. Daniel said it was okay. He signed off on it. I got everything, did everything legal through the city. You know that. We've had this conversation like twice.
I'll barely open up the door again. Then why are you here now?
Well, you told me about some of those other stories, and I've had to discuss them, and my only line of income currently, after being terminated from a moderately acceptable and a successful network, is do my own podcast and survive basically hawking any ad space that I can on it. And I need more spooky stories so I can keep paying my bills and feeding my children.
I don't have time for this today. But how would you like to come on an investigation with me today?
Reaches in his pocket and pulls out a little I guess his cell phone. We're not doing this like in the 90s. It's not like I'm pulling out a Palm Pilot, which was my first thought.
Right.
I'm actually free. My wife and my kids are going up to see her family up in North Arkansas. So, yeah, I got time. Where we going?
Good, you're driving. And I open the door and start going to pack a bag.
All right.
Just look. You could have just asked me to drive instead of being kind of cold-blooded right at the very beginning if you knew this was going to happen. I'd say yes.
Does that Arteloth have the TV on?
You know what? Probably actually, yeah, because
Okay.
Gale's not here in the house. It's too quiet.
Okay then. So then that after whatever Arteloth is watching, then that there's a breaking news report coming in that you just hear just like it is actually like a newswoman anchor that and then she's just like just breaking in that like that just breaking in that Natchitoches is always experiencing that this unusually cold weather here. I know that up in Monroe that it is a just that a chilly 60 degrees, but Natchitoches has been getting down up into like the 30s and then the 20s every so often. That the weather just keeps fluctuating there. And back to our normal scheduling. We just wanted to just we had just wanted to just alert people about that. Thank you.
Um, on a pass through from one room to the other, I'll toss the map quest directions over at Cyrus, and we're heading down there to Natchitoches. Hope you've got something for cold weather.
I got my Carhartt.
Your vehicle has a heart?
It's a brand of. You don't get out much.
Just gonna stop in the in one of the hallways, look at him.
I know from the stories I've heard from you and from your nephew that you've traveled a bit. So it means you can leave. I guess you're just choosing not to.
Don't go shopping.
Then that there was also a contact number left for you, Arteloth, as well to contact Mr. Luther Roberts.
Okay. Let me double check a couple of things real quick though before I move with that. Okay. Just going to throw a few books into like a duffel bag. Few random like just like few random items we might have need of, and yeah, then I suppose I'll give this Luther Roberts a call before
All
we
right.
actually leave the house.
Okay. And then that he basically phone rings the third time and he just like, yeah, that this Luther. Deputy
Hello,
Roberts speaking.
Master Roberts.
Oh
Hello, Master
yes.
Roberts.
Oh
My
yes.
name is
Then
Arteloth Beckett. Deputy LaRue mentioned that you needed some assistance.
oh yeah. Then she basically had basically said that then that your type is dealing with the supernatural that that I like to read about that kind of stuff because I think it's very cool that what y'all do and stuff. It is just like supernatural, but it's also up in like real life. It just made me feel like that I am up in like an action movie. But yes, of course. Then that there was you see here that there was a accident on the Church Street Bridge. A victim representative of the Grand Union Electric that they are some kind of power surge company that they have been like responsible for basically getting all of these lights and stuff situated for us. That one of their electrical engineers that kind of passed away, but she has some nasty burn and bruise marks on her. I will tell you what, if that you can come down Highway 6 at the brand new Waffle House, that that it will be me and then that, Michael Martin, and then that also that her coworker will be there too.
Can do. We'll be there in a few hours, myself and a colleague.
Oh right, fun stuff. I cannot wait to see this. That this is going to be amazing. And then he just hangs up.
Um, I'll relay the info to Cyrus about the Church Street Bridge. There's apparently a Waffle House on Highway 6 where we're supposed to meet contacts.
All right. He just puts the address into the console on his truck and it gives directions. He leaves the map quest directions inside the house.
Wow.
This is about to be like the worst, like, frenemies cop movie ever.
Just the whole time it's playing Christian country on the
Oh
radio.
my gosh.
Don't actually dislike this.
I don't either. So that y'all basically, so then y'all basically like make it there at around because I would say that this is about like 11 a.m. and then y'all kind of like make it there at about like because I don't know the time frame, but I would say about 5 6 hours later. Then y'all make it there. So it is getting close to about time math is hard at about like 5 to 6 o'clock at night. And then that y'all see that this Waffle House is getting built just across the street from a family from just a Dollar General off of a Highway 6. And then it is pretty nice looking too. And then you see just basically that the cop car there, along with just this nice, just looking Land Rover that is white in color, with just that it has like the reindeer antlers and stuff on it. And then it basically has this big sticker on the side door that says the Natchitoches Christmas Festival committee on it.
Alrighty.
So is this where you need us to get out? Is this where we're going? You're having me
We're
do a
supposed
ghost
to be meeting.
investigation of a Waffle House?
No, we're meeting some contacts first. Luther Roberts, a deputy, and someone named Michael Martin to learn about the woman who died and anything else that's been happening before we hit the scene of the crime, so to speak.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So
Usually
then,
we end up at a Waffle House.
okay. So then, as the y'all are like looking out, looking just like inside, then that y'all see a few figures. You see basically like what basically appears to be like a kind of like stocky looking mid 30s black dude that looked like that he could have been a ex wrestler or so. So, but he had put on a few pounds and stuff. That he is sitting at the bar talking to like some kind of kind of like an older Caucasian gentleman up in like his 40s, just at the typical, like a short crop hair, wearing just kind of like the most tackiest Christmas sweater with just like some very steamed khakis and Dockers, basically dad. And then you are also seeing kind of like that this alternative looking female that she basically has on like a yellow safety vest and workers clothes, and then that y'all see basically the Waffle House employees.
Wearing my trench coat, per usual. Um, but I'm gonna get out of the truck and head inside. I'm not baby hand holding Cyrus here. He's either gonna follow or he's gonna figure it out.
Cyrus was already getting out to go in.
All right, then. So basically, that as that y'all are getting out, that you all notice that the temperature that it was basically around like 70 degrees on like the drive, but then that the temperature starts to kind of get up into that the low up into like the low 50s, kind of like the high 40s now.
Okay. Just gonna pull the jacket a little bit, or the Carhartt a little bit more. Think about actually zipping it up as we go into the Waffle House.
All right. So what do y'all do with the information that I had provided to y'all?
Going in and making my way toward the three folk sitting at the bar.
Okay. All right.
Deputy Luther.
Well,
Deputy
yes, of
Roberts.
course. Oh, that you actually came in person. That this is rather, like Very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That here is Mr. Michael Martin. That he is basically that the director of the Christmas festival that we are preparing for, and then that this is a that this is a Miss Mary Green, that she is the co-worker of the dearly departed.
Thank you all three, for being available for questioning. What exactly happened to this electrical worker?
Mary Green is going to kind of speak up that she just basically just flicks her kind of like pinkish black ombre hair and just like, man, I don't know what happened. I just told just Amy to basically just take the night off, but she had basically insisted on fixing that dang electrical, that that the wires and stuff were cut again, that this is like the fourth time this week in just this month, and then that she had got burnt by her hands and something had hit her across the head, and then she had passed away. I just don't want to scare the Waffle House employees with just this talk, then it has been some strange things that have always had just occurred around a Waffle House, so I don't want any trouble.
Would you feel more comfortable speaking outside? It's
Oh no,
important that
no, no.
we
No,
get
that
full
that this is actually fine. Then that you just basically just see just like that you just basically just see like that this 20-year-old waitress just basically just drop off her that drop that basically like drop off her plate of just at the All Star with just like a quadruple pecan waffles.
um so you were not with Amy while she was attempting these repairs?
No, 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 sir, that I wasn't. It was just basically then that she is one of our best just engineers. That that she had came from like Colorado.
I'm sure she was quite capable. The You said that the wires have been cut previously.
Why, yes, of course. That it is just like each and just every time that we are just out there, just trying to basically fix them up. It's just probably just some damn kids or something. Then that they just think that it's funny, but that this shit is costing us money. And then at this point, Michael Martin kind of just does the whole like finger thing and just like, oh yes, indeed it has. I mean, shit. Every single time that it had just took my wife 5 months to basically make sure that we have that beautiful reef that can be seen off of Church Street whenever folks are driving on it. Just, and then he looks oddly very annoyed.
He looks oddly very annoyed, like not normally annoyed, just
He kind of has that kind of just like sense of, well, give me a sharp roll, actually.
that's a 10.
You can tell that that he is basically like just being very just distraught, but he's also giving that sense of like he that he that he is having like none of this, because in that he basically wants it to be his perfect little show pretty much.
Okay, so I don't need to do investigative mystery with that. All right. Cool. Just picking up that he's like, this is my Christmas. They fucking up my Christmas. Not that, because that's you
Right.
saying Cyrus, because I'm doing my best to not have Cyrus cuss, which is gonna be so hard for me. But yeah, he's like, this is my jam. Nobody needs to screw it up. I'm taking this personally.
And then
Um,
oh, go on.
I would the next I was gonna ask another question to the deputy, but you can
Sure,
do
sure,
whatever
go
else.
on. You can go ahead.
Okay. Was gonna say, um, Amy here says that, or Mary says that Amy was hit over the head.
Well, yes, of course. It was just kind of strange that whenever that me and then that Glenda Sanchez, that the fire marshal also came too because of electrical fire issues, potential fire hazard, and in that our very eccentric corner, Maria Riggs came and basically, investigated it. It had looked like that it was just a nasty bruise. It could have been some kind of 2x4, but we didn't have the reports of hail or anything like that. That the body is like well preserved and stuff. That we are still not discounting murder. So I don't know.
And this only happened last night.
That this had happened about 2 nights ago, actually, two nights ago, and then that
And the
it's just
coroner has not determined cause of death at this point.
that they are still working on that right now. Yes, sir.
It would be essential for us to speak to Miss Riggs um, before we do anything else.
Right, right, right. Then that that I just don't want y'all to get up in y'all way, and then that he just kind of just like elbows Martin, just kind of like playfully, like see that that these are the guys that I am telling you about. That that they are knowing all of this stuff that I just read up into it all the time, especially that time that that situation would just up in like it was just like something I don't know that that they had called it that the squid galer up in Monroe. I don't know what that is.
No, I did a podcast on that.
Oh, really? That the squid gator? How was it?
For most part, it was probably ergot poisoning around a lot of people that actually saw it. Hallucinations, connected to, yeah, there was a gator, which usually isn't seen in the Washita, but I mean, you can't just list everything off as supernatural. I mean, it would be great if it was, but also an octopus, alligator would be terrifying, just 100%. But I mean, I did some research, talked to some of the people that were there. I mean, I believe one of the officers actually tested positive for amphetamines in their system after everything was over. So, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you'd like it, it's if you want to listen, I got a bunch of podcasts out there, episodes. It's the CBD paranormal. You can get it on any podcatcher. I used to be with the Podbilly Network, but I got they don't carry me anymore because I'm too much like one of their other shows. So I mean, if you want to pick it up, I mean, you can get it on iTunes, iStore, Google Play, any of those.
Oh man, absolutely. I have been like listening to like the Night Vale. I have also been like listening to this weird one called like Roll for Weird or something like that.
Oh,
But anyway,
you need to listen to one called. Also need to listen to one that's called, and that's why we drink. It's a mix of true crime and paranormal. The ladies that do that are fantastic.
oh yes, absolutely. I mean that that they just call me just that there go Luther again acting like Fred Jones from Scooby Doo. Like and then I'm like, man, that what y'all talking about? All of this stuff is possibly real. I mean, hell, that
Deputy
that
Roberts, Deputy Roberts, would
yes.
you please contact Miss Riggs and then give us directions to
Oh yes,
the coroner's office?
absolutely. And then that I am sorry that my name is Deputy Roberts that he is directing his attention to Cyrus. I mean to Cyrus, not Cyrax.
Oh, my name's Cyrus Downs. Uh, I, I am a recent
New recruit.
recent acquaintance of Mr. Peckett.
Oh well, then that then that the more that the merrier. And then he just basically takes out his Android, and then he just basically just contacts, and then he actually put it on speaker a bit, and then it's like, now, Deputy Roberts, I told you I am up in the middle of a damn autopsy. If you contact me one more damn time, I swear I will use the scalpel on your head myself. And then he's like, calm down now. Calm down, Glenda. Oh, wait a minute.
Maria.
Maria.
Just
Calm down now.
gonna look at
That's it.
Arteloth with a cocked eyebrow at the threat coming from the coroner, because under the impression coroners know how to slice up a body pretty good, so she could probably do it and get away with it.
Arteloth is.
I am going to
This
be
doesn't faze
swapping
me.
accents. And then it's just going to be like, now then, that Deputy Roberts, what is it that do you want? And then he's just going to be like, well, yeah, then I got these paranormal investigators. Sorry about that. Investigators here that they want to get a look at Miss Jolly, that the body that they can come to the station. I just need to make sure that they have clearance from you. Oh yes, absolutely. That they do. And then you just see that his plate of just like steak and eggs, and then that the hash browns all the way come out. Hashtag Waffle House, please sponsor us. Anyway.
I gotta lean off camera. I was trying to use my mustache to scratch my nose and it didn't work.
And then that, because of the fact that I have never ever seen any type of wounds like these before. Electrical burns, it seems like slash marks were done, and just also blunt force trauma. I think
we'll be there shortly, and you can inform us of everything then. No need to take time away from your work at the moment.
All right, alrighty then. And then he just hangs up and sees like man, that she sure is fiery sometimes, but I don't know that that I guess then that she does study that she does also study that anthropology, that, so it could be something to do with bones, that's why that we had hired her. And then plus then that she kind of like remind me of just that that Day Chanel chick from just that TV show. But I would just like let y'all be on y'all way.
Need to know where we're going.
Just like absolutely. Then that that you just basically just take the Highway 6 on down, and then that the police station should be just around the corner, about like 3 blocks down. Let me actually look this up so I'm not giving people wrong directions.
We totally believe you, and then this fictitious Natchitoches is 100% true.
It's fine.
It is fine.
Don't get bogged in the details.
No, not right now. So we'll get pay and get a coffee to go as we go back to the truck.
All right.
Look at Arteloth like motion. You want one?
No, thank you.
Would you prefer tea?
No, thank you.
All right. We'll go back to the truck with a fresh cup of just plain black Waffle House coffee, also known as wood stain.
All right, and then y'all can easily pay for that. Y'all can pay for that. So then y'all basically make a way to the police off to the police station, that the desk clerk is just just basically then that they have already received the call, and then that they basically send y'all through, and then that y'all see Maria Riggs is kind of this she is kind of a mix between Jamaican and Creole. She has her hair up in dreadlocks, kind of up in a ponytail, and then that she has on the corner garb and stuff, and very clean, professional, the gloves, the works, and then she's just oh, so then y'all must be the investigators that Deputy Roberts said.
Arteloth Beckett, ma'am, and this is my compatriot Cyrus.
Cyrus Downs.
Okay. All right then, Mr. Beckett and Mr. Downs. That my name is Maria Riggs. I will be your corner / anthropologist today, and then that. Come on now, and then that. Let's just head over to the body. And so then after y'all go over there, and then that this body looks mangled and also burned at the same time. So if so, what are y'all gonna do with that information?
Cyrus is going.
I
Cyrus is going to dry heave and cover his mouth real quick. It's one of the.
Why, yes, of course, that it is a rather gruesome face, and in that you know that there is kind of like some bruising just along the face, as if that she had got punched in the face as well.
I wanted clarification on mangled. Does that mean like the whole body is twisted up, or
Uh,
just the face,
that
or
just at the face, it had looked like somebody had basically hit this lady so hard in the jaw that the neck twisted itself, kind of like a full
okay?
90 degrees
Oh,
in an instant.
we are looking for a supernatural Ryu. That's what we are dealing with here. Old Yuchin them right up underneath the gin.
All
Not
right,
say,
so what?
not actually saying that in character.
Right.
I want to make sure I took one of my advanced upgrades was I had taken the sight from the spooky, so
Mm-hmm.
I can see anything invisible, especially spirits or magical influences. Is there anything in the morgue around the body at this point?
Give me a weird roll.
That is going to be a beautiful 14, 6, 5 plus 3.
Oh yeah. That you are like looking at this body, and in that you see like electrical currents are kind of just like buzzing around the body, along with just little bitty bits of frost. And then that due to that your sight ability, then that you can kind of see like a blonde haired kind of like angel looking lady just kind of just sitting by her body, kind of like stoop, just kind of like standing over it, just like looking all sad and stuff, like just like kind of like looking down, and then that they kind of like look at you, and then that she's just like, help.
Um, want to kind of move like I'm walking, like I'm gonna walk around the body like I'm looking it over closely, but then telepathically speaking to the ghost, so I'm not drawing attention. Um,
Gotcha.
I need to clarify because I think I may have written a name down wrong. Mary Green was the coworker we spoke with, and the
Yes.
lady who died's name is Amy.
Amy Jolly, yes.
All right.
Okay.
Before we move through this, Spence, I have historical documents and ghost hunting tools listed as my equipment.
Uh-huh.
If I always keep an EMF meter in my pocket, would it be going off right about now?
Oh, it is going off. Well, then it was already going off, but then you kind of sort of like basically owned at the road that you had basically like wired it to like Arteloth frequency, so then that it isn't like distracting you, but it is going off for like a new presence, like majorly.
He's going to take it out and look at it and just start looking around the room.
All right.
Um, so in my mind, say,
Mm-hmm.
Amy, we're here to help. Can you tell me anything about what happened?
Well, then that I was just basically got this call to basically go off for work, and then that that my lovely boss, she had wanted me to basically go in and like that she had told me not to go out, but I did anyway. So I decided to go out and repair the wire for just that dickhead Mr. Martin, because that he wanted it wrapped up so nicely around at this wreath that his wife had made. Then that apparently then that they had got something from like up north. I just don't remember what it was. That I am just here for just my job. Well, it was. Then that all of a sudden, then that the electrical power just surged just through my gloves, and then that I had to kind of like take a step back, and then that I thought I saw something kind of like almost hovering above me. So I ran, turned my back, and that's literally the last thing that I remember before being struck on the head so hard. And then as she kind of like does the motion as the ghost, that her head goes up in like a quick motion, just all the way, like beyond the point of where that it had turned. And then that's was the fatal blow. Tell me, can
What
can you tell me something? How is Mary taking it?
she seems to be moving on. She doesn't seem terribly distraught.
Oh, that is just that is just a front. I know that is hurting her deeply inside. Because that I was going to propose to her on Christmas Eve. But go on with your question.
What did you see when you took a step back? You said you saw something above you.
Yes, that it had that the only thing that I can see because that it just got cold and really windy, and then it just felt as if that my body was just tingling all over with just that feeling of static electricity. It just felt like that,
Mhm.
and all I do is just remember just like talons, something like a hawk, but and then you can kind of see that the bruising on her face looks kind of like a fist almost. Meanwhile, what is Cyrus is doing?
Cyrus is seeing that the EMF's going off and sees Arteloth just kind of staring at the area next to the dead body, looks over
So
at.
I'm intentionally trying not to draw attention
Oh, okay.
to her.
So Arteloth is
Like
just.
I'm looking at the body,
Okay,
like
Arteloth is
walking
just over
around
there
the
looking at the body. EMF's going off. I'm assuming if I say anything to Arteloth, going to be kind of ignored because he is currently talking to unseen spirit. So going to look at the
Corner?
coroner with an expression of like, and just look at the EMF. You don't mind? And I pull out a spirit box.
What in the heavens is that?
Um, in a previous life, I was a ghost investigator. Mostly now, I do podcasts and investigate things. When brought in kind of as a temporary outside contractor, if you will.
We're on that show Soul Searchers that I had used that as background noise to basically write papers and such.
Yeah, I used to be on that. Not the not don't talk about that one much anymore. Anyway, this is just a spirit box. My EMF's going off, so I'm assuming if I put this on, I might be able to get some words. It might not have anything to do with this, but sorry, it's still a hobby, and maybe we can get words from the beyond as my compatriot who is much better at physiology of the human body investigates, and I'm just gonna turn on and it starts cycling through all the radio stations for the white noise.
Mm-hmm. Then give me a what would this? Give me a cool roll.
Okay, I get to use weird for that. Thank God. 9.
That you basically pick up bits and pieces about what she was saying Amy was saying. You basically get the description of basically the state of her injury, along with just basically what basically what she was doing.
Okay, just doing that and looking at Arteloth, not really getting a response from Arteloth because I'm assuming Arteloth is tuning this all out, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Trying to focus.
Hearing that and is gonna still trying not to dry heave or anything because he's used to dealing with like sort of evidence of like ghosts and stuff. He is not used to an actual dead human body right in front of him that has like he's been to funerals and stuff. He's just never seen one that looked like they done got hit in the face with an electric baseball bat. is just hearing like that and can I investigate a mystery
Yes.
while looking at the body and listening to the spirit box?
Yes.
That is a 10. Yeah, 10 because I use sharp.
All right, and ask your questions.
Okay, so with the 10, I get to hold 2.
And then that since then that we have basically been like altering the question, that you can make the question fit the baseline question too.
Looking at this and hearing all this, I'm gonna ask this first one: what is being concealed here? As in, what? When I ask that to, I guess, to modify the question a little bit for you, Spence, is I don't think Cyrus is any novice to like seeing someone get punched. Like he grew up in Monroe or wherever. Fights happen. So he's seen that. This doesn't seem natural. So what's being concealed here specifically about the amount of like with that wound to the bottom of the jaw?
As that you basically that you have been up in a few scraps and stuff like that, and then that you kind of sort of like look over at the body as much as you can without basically vomiting over it. Then that you basically see that you basically see like a bit of a tail feather almost that is kind of like stuck on at the back of the neck. That was not that that was not picked up by Maria.
Okay, I'm gonna get the attention of the coroner to pick up the feather.
Huh.
And I'm gonna ask this now that we have the
At that
feather.
point, that would draw my attention kind of out of
Okay,
talking to.
And then that this feather is kind of like a cerulean blue that fades into a black almost.
okay. So my follow-up question with that is going to be, what type of creature is it? Looking at this feather that was like how big? In connection to this, could I get a description of how big the feather is? Like
That the feather is about a good 3 2.5 feet, 2.5 feet.
this coroner fucking. What? Oh, sorry. That's you.
Stuck,
Not.
like stuck how? Like
That is it. It might. Okay,
like a
but
full
what can I?
torso.
So can I ask what type of creature is it? Based looking at the feather that has been pulled forth like a sword from. You know what? I bet it's on the back of the neck and it was partly under the shirt.
Yes.
And if
exactly.
there was electrical burns, maybe the shirt's kind of fused to the skin.
Uh-huh.
So that might have been why it was harder. Like just catching it and like all of a sudden blurp. You know, so we don't make the coroner not sound good.
Right. Because
Okay.
that this is a very good corner, and then that you basically have heard of these kind of creatures during just that your studies and stuff, that you have basically met an indigenous pastor once, whenever that you from just your former job, then that y'all had basically went to a guest church appearance in Maine. Then that you basically know of this is basically from basically that the uh the Abenaki tribe of folks. Let me make sure that I am getting this right. Right. I mean, sorry about that. From that the Pino from that the Penobscot tribe of the north of,
Penobscot.
what is it?
Penobscot.
Okay, thank you. That the Penobscot of the North American northeastern woodlands region, and then you basically know this creature from just that this feather is known as a Pamala. It's basically like a bird man creature sort of thing, that they are known to be very territorial, and then that they are known that looking at that this one, and then that as that you are touching this feather, it kind of has some electrical currents to it, so that this is some kind of variation, but it still comes from that same from that same mythos.
Okay, gonna look at Arteloth with a gun. First, I'm gonna turn off the spirit box because that is and put it in the EVP back in my. I'm assuming I'm carrying a satchel. You know what? I got a
Yes.
backpack. This dude seems like a backpack kind of dude. It's like a North Face kind of thing. That oh god, I'm making the most redneck motherfudging ghost hunter ever.
Yeah.
Jesus said hardy ghosts. That the three GEG. Anyway, we'll look at Arteloth like I kind of got an idea. Oh god, I gotta keep leaning in because whenever I lean back, I start to oh no, I got no head. So yeah, I'll give Arteloth a look like I think I might have something here, but also looking at the coroner, kind of with a face like how in God's good world was that missed kind of situation.
She's just like, good heavens, that the body was just, that the body was just on at the operating table for like 30 minutes because I had to take care of, and then you just see like that the other ones of her work, and then just like, oh, I am terribly sorry, and then that she actually flips over the body and like, good heavens, that is some nasty burn marks and scrapes. Could have been a wild hawk or something. Arteloth, what are you doing at this point?
Yeah. With a big giant electric feather clue and is Amy Ghost still here?
Yes, that she is still there, just kind of like looking at herself. That looking just at the body, that you can tell that she was a young thing, probably up in her mid-20s.
I want to turn to the coroner and say, Miss Riggs, would you happen to have the medical records, the file, in this room, or would they be in a different room somewhere?
I mean that that this is not my office. I can basically go in and grab my iPad, that I can basically link in just that her medical records and stuff that we had got, that they should be coming in now, and then I will be right back. And she leaves the room.
And then I'm going to directly speak to Amy. Are you ready to go, or do you need to remain?
Give me a weird roll.
9, 1, 5, 3.
Okay. That she kind of looks like that she says that yes, that she is ready to go, but that you start to see like some electrical runes and stuff on her body, that is like, that is basically kind of like ethereal chains almost keeping her there.
Oh, so okay. Okay.
And then she's just like, I wish I can go, but I can't.
We'll make sure you're not trapped here. And
Yes.
I would assume that's about all the time that I have before Pamela's coming, or the Riggs chick is coming back.
Anything Cyrus want to say or do?
At first is gonna want to say, are you talking to the? Yeah, you're probably talking to like just talking direct. Like at first, like that you just start talking, and I'm like, are you ready to go? Well, I thought we were. Oh. Okay, talking to a ghost. No, not. I'm
and then
sorry.
that probably just on like at this point, Maria comes back and like, yes, here we go. Amy Jolly, 25 years old. Oh, that she was originally from Colorado. That she's top of her class. Medical records, clean bill of health. it is just such a shame that we had lost somebody as just bright as her.
Have you had much experience with electrocution deaths?
Why, no, that I am more of a bone specialist, if you will, an anthropologist. But
Recommend
eh,
tracing whether she was grounded or not, checking her boots and that sort of thing, and we'll check back in before
okay,
we leave town, and
right,
hopefully,
right,
in everything, we'll find more information.
right, and then that basically, as that y'all are about to leave, then that she is basically gets a phone call, and then she's just like, wait, wait, I think that y'all need to hear this, and then that you will basically hear the following between with somebody like, hold up now, Mr. Martin, that's still underneath the fire, that the fire department investigation, because that an electrical burn victim, we cannot be having people going on Church Street now. Now then, I'm gonna need your ass. I don't give a flying fuck who you are. I'm gonna need your ass to get back that this is a fire investigation now, because in that I don't give a damn about your wife's wreath. And then that, Maria hangs it up and just like, I think that y'all might want to go in and check that out ASAP. Because that Fire Marshal Sanchez, she can be a bit hot headed, if you will.
Was literally our next stop, thanks, and I'm heading out.
We'll follow, and the second we get past the door, I'm gonna look at Arteloth and go, uh, not trying to assume or be rude here. Are you capable of changing what you wear, or is that part of your spectral permanent form?
Oh no, the coat was a gift. I could take that off anytime I wished.
All right, good, good. Because one of the things we're going to need to do, we're going to need to go down to that fishing supply store we came across. We're going to need to get waders, solid rubber, heavy duty waders for what we're about to have to deal with. I think rubber deals with electricity.
Probably.
Rubber deals with electricity, right? It doesn't conduct. That we are going to look so weird if we are having to deal with this, because I'm assuming this is like those other adventures you told me. We're about to have to go whoop them. Don't know how much help I am there, but I'm going to say we stop at the fishing store, maybe get some big rubber gloves. I got my credit card.
Sounds good.
All right. You know what? There's a fire. We ain't gonna get through that line right away, so let's go ahead and grab those before we get over there. I feel it might be necessitated.
All right.
You're not hearing any argument from me.
So as that y'all are basically like walking out to that the lobby, and then that that the desk clerk is just like just got done turning on the heater, and just like that, y'all folks be careful now. I mean that hell, then that that the temperature just dropped another 20 degrees, and then I asked that y'all look, and then he like, holy shit, is that snow in Louisiana? Hot dog, we gonna get us a white Christmas. Oh yeah, it's gonna be that good Cajun gumbo. Mm-hmm. With just that squirrel stew too.
Gonna keep walking past that country fried bit of hell right there, and keep going straight back towards the truck. I'm for it until
And
the
there
squirrel.
is snow starting.
I'm there until the freaking squirrel gumbo or squirrel stew. I'm out. I'm out on that one. It's kind of like Friday leaving work. Hey, I'm gonna be cooking raccoon haul. Do you want me to bring you some? I'll eat it if you give it to me. But
what? No! Oh God! No!
he was making raccoon stew, and he's like,
Oh
do
God!
you eat?
No!
Do you eat that? I said the last time I did, someone left the paws on it and wasn't exactly happy when I saw a tiny hand sticking out the pot. But if you bring it to me, I'll eat it, because I got a couple coworkers that want to test what exactly I will or will not eat, and it's messed them up that they saw me eat a pig's foot. So
Right, so we're gonna gear up at the fishing shop. And then head to Church Street Bridge.
So rubber, what we're getting Spence for us, so that we can, I guess, so we can list it as equipment. Rubber waders, like the going up to just underneath the nipple line, high rubber pants.
Yeah.
Since this, I'm pretty sure in a small town, it's the fishing store / hardware store /
right.
There's probably somewhere to get food. So also the rubberized gloves that you use for what is it? For sandblasting cabinets. You know, those big heavy ones that the aggregate won't tear through.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we'll be getting those. So we about to look goofy, Arteloth.
All right, so
It's
then y'all go.
alright, we
So
will-
then
and you know
y'all
what?
basically go in,
You know what?
go
And
in,
and a
then
couple
that.
pair of thick, really thick, like socks that they have around deer hunting season. So
So
neither
then
one of us
y'all
get
go
cold.
in,
Make
and then
sure they're wool.
that y'all basically go in, and then that it is basically a kind of like a Middle Eastern person there, along with just like a Southern grandma that she just kind of just like looks at y'all with just like one eye, just like just saying that y'all good, y'all trying to go ice fishing.
Oh no, ma'am. Christmas gifts for well, my other uncle. I had to get him. They're twins, so that they wear the same size.
Oh, that's lovely. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they would enjoy those waiters.
Then very quickly gonna pay for that and a jerky stick because these places
Oh,
are.
then that you know that is Rashid's specialty. That you know that he had made it like spicy. That he had combined Cajun and then Indian flavors. I like it.
Now I actually want this curry jerky, Spence. Thank you. I don't have any. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll be right back. I can get something though. Give me just a second.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
he just disappears into the void.
Hello, Pupper. What do you want?
So meanwhile,
Come here.
then that
Come here.
as that oh wait a minute. Oh doggo. We got a doggo on screen chat. So meanwhile, Wilder, you are basically like waiting just in the car and such. I need you to read me a bad situation.
Okie dokie. You know. Oh.
Da, da, da. 6 and 1 is 8.
All right, you get one question.
I was reading a bad situation. You left me alone. Things started happening, maybe.
I got jerky.
Oh my god, I clicked the wrong button. Hang on. Okay, there we go.
It is good jerky.
Well, if I only get one question, are there any dangers we haven't noticed yet?
Oh, absolutely. It is one that as you see Cyrus is walking out with just at the rubberized boots and such, then that you swear you like look at the sign, it kind of flickers a bit, but suddenly like just like if somebody cast a witch bolt from the sign onto the ground about maybe like 30 feet behind Cyrus, you kind of see like a ethereal frost electrical void shape, kind of humanoidish, appear behind Cyrus.
Immediately getting out of the car, manifesting giant big ass sword, and running for doing the things.
Just turns around while eating jerky. What?
And then you just see just at this like electrical being that sort of like it kind of like shifts hues in the face and kind of gives just like this evilish grin at you.
Yeah, I'm going for a swing. Like I feel like I would have already like put on the boots, the gloves.
Oh yeah.
All that.
Quick,
Oh yeah,
we did. I guess we did that before we left the store. We're walking out of here goofy as hell.
Right. So I
Yeah.
will say this: that the rubberized boots will act as armor against anything. If I say like electrical damage, that you get to like negate one of the harm. If that I say something that is like if it has like lightning, a discharge, or anything like electrical, you can count that as armor against against electrical attack.
Discharge
Excellent.
sounds gross.
Well, you know. Anyway, yeah, I'm running up there to get in range and take a big ass swing with my big ass sword.
All right, and roll me some kick some ass.
Of course, my first low roll of the night. 2, 2, and 2 makes 6, so I'm gonna have to mark experience.
All right, then as that you basically try to swing at it, it basically does like that Goku like after image thing to you with just like a trail of frost, and then it's going to take a swipe at you for 2 harm.
I would like. Do I see it swinging at Arteloth as he
Yes.
swings? I am going to try to protect someone by knocking him out of the way because, you know, not the brightest boy over here, just a podcaster.
Okay.
That's slightly on the beefy side. And I get to roll weird for this.
Oh.
So that is a 6, 3, 11 on a 10 plus. Okay. As I come through, I'm going to knock Arteloth out the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to opt to... So I'll take all that 2 harm, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to choose to inflict harm.
Okay.
Using my... Let's see, what is it? I got a walking stick. What the hell, Hugh? Why'd you pick a walking stick? You know what? Can I switch that to martial arts?
Sure.
Okay.
Punching electrical things now.
Rubber gloves.
Oh, the other thing I got is pepper spray. And that,
All right.
no. I only get one weapon. This is what the seeker can choose from: a walking stick, a small gun, a small knife, martial arts, pepper spray, heavy flashlight.
Why do you think that Darius has a gun?
So I will inflict. Let's see. I will be inflicting 1 harm, and I will be taking no damage.
Okay.
Because
and then at that, right.
Well, no, it's
Right.
I got prepared to defend. Whenever I
Uh-huh.
kick some ass or protect someone, I suffer 1 less damage.
Right.
My blessed shirt, I took a move from the Spellslinger's sheet, which is enchanted clothing, which means I take 1 less harm.
Okay.
And then if I'm not actually wearing real armor, I have danger sense, which means I reduce. It counts as me having 1 armor when I'm not wearing real armor.
Got you.
So
Okay.
my magical bad merch shirt that I believed so hard would protect me. It's like Yokai. I have manifested a broom to be alive at this point now. This shirt protects me. It's blessed by the Lord.
Okay. So you basically take none of that, but you kind of sort of feel like that the electric jolting a little bit in your body, but you will be taking a -1 to like your next roll.
Okay.
All right. Back to Arteloth.
So
Get shoved out of the way by the rookie. Let me see here. Can I take a moment and using my sight, can I tell if this is like can I see if can I read a bad situation and see if there's anything that is happening while we're being distracted with this? Can I like make sure that we're not getting clever girled?
Sure. Absolutely.
There we go. 6 and 1 and 1, so 8.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to ask a question, or else do you just want a general description?
I'm trying to do a quick look around and make sure that we're not getting clever girled. So like technically that would be, are there any dangers we haven't noticed again?
That the only danger that that is only pinging up in that your mind is basically going back to like that conversation on the phone between the fire marshal and then that Mr. Martin. But other than that, up and at the present moment, that there only appears to just be just at the one, that the one minion, if you will, in front of y'all.
Right. Then I want to just kind of returning the favor and kind of putting myself between Cyrus and the thing and say, "Go get the truck started now." And I'm just basically just trying to guard his back so he can get the
Okay.
truck going.
All right, then. That the as that you are basically going to defend that this thing is going to blow that this lightning chill at you. It is going to deal 2 harm. Well, 1 because you are up in rubber gloves and boots and such. But you will be considered stunned in place, as that the electricity and cold is just keeping you kind of like stun chilled in place for a turn. So you are
Right.
essentially stunned.
I do have immortal where I suffer 1 harm less.
Oh, you
So
take
by
none,
not, but am I still stunned even though I didn't take the harm?
that you can that I would say no, that you kind of like buff it off the effect.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
Cyrus.
that like I rolled and yeah.
All right. So been told to get to the truck, so I am gonna roll to
Act under pressure.
Yep. And since this is still dealing with a supernatural creature, I can still roll weird instead of cool. So that would be a 9 instead of a 10.
Whew. Okay, fun things. You want a worse outcome? Your hard choice or price to pay?
Give me a hard choice.
Hard choice would be that that you can get to the truck, but then that the thing will kind of like phase shift towards you exactly, or that you can basically get that you can basically get the truck started, but you are going to that the truck is going to take some kind of damage.
Okay, so that's the options of hard choice or price to pay right there.
That those are basically your hard choice, because the price to pay will be much worse.
Okay. I'll take the first of the hard choices. I'm gonna move that way, and I guess it'll phase shift near me.
Yep, it's just basically just going to go like up just to you, and just basically ask that you just look at it, that that you don't really see you really don't see a face sort of. You just kind of just see that this electrical ethereal spirit almost just kind of just like glare at you almost.
Okay.
All right, Arteloth.
It ran away from me, so
Yes.
I'm doing the same thing again. I'm going to try to keep it distracted so that um I almost said Dale. What the hell is your name? Cyrus
Yep.
can get to the truck.
Okay.
So running over to kick some more ass.
All right.
3, 4, and 2 makes 9.
All righty then. So how much harm is that total?
Da, 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 da. 2.
2. Okay. So that you are slashing at it, and then at this point that the thing just like looks at you, and then it is basically about to bear hug you. Like, how close is Arteloth to the truck?
Wherever Cyrus and it were having a standoff, I'd be
Oh
right where
no.
they were.
Okay then.
But like between it and the truck though, like I'm trying to
Okay.
body
Got you.
shield.
Okay. So it is going to self-destruct on you.
Oh God! It's
Fun!
a Cyberman. No.
How fun.
It is going to deal 4 harm, and then that this is like a mix of like an electrical frozen explosion that happens. Be lucky that it wasn't fire. so that you feel this in your body.
So do boots still cancel one of the electric?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I still have my immortal neg 1, so I'm only taking 2 out of it.
Right.
Do you
And
have?
then that
Well,
this
hold on.
hurts like.
Do you have any other armor, Arteloth? I see chainmail in the picture. It's just all. That's an aesthetic choice.
Yes. It's what I died in.
You know, it's not actually chainmail. It's really thick knit wool, like those sweaters that you can find at the really expensive stores.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that happens, and then that with that, then that it's basically again just like one of those feathers, much smaller, comes just up and at the aftermath of that explosion, and then that that the grandma and stuff is just like, well, what in the hell was that?
Lightning.
Were y'all shooting a movie?
No, ma'am. Lightning struck.
Give me manipulate someone.
All right. Oh, okay. This is a straight roll. That's a 7. That is a mixed success. So manipulate someone.
That they would believe you, but you have to prove it to them.
I'm gonna point to the area where it first landed, and the area where it exploded, because I'm assuming that there's damage to the concrete that has a radiating burn pattern, like a lightning strike. He is just gonna point at that and go, "It struck twice, but not the same spot."
Well, shit. Well, damn it. Lightning up in the snowstorm, and then, oh, Rashid, I need to go and get my knitting, and then we closing up shop early. I need to go and then crochet me a scarf for the youngins. We closing up early.
All right, well, definitely, ma'am, you do that. Y'all be safe. The roads are, you probably should have, because this snow's going to start coming down, and people down here don't know how to drive. We ain't got no salt trucks. Closest one's up in Shreveport.
It'll be all right. We'll be all right. Then that I used to live up in Alaska before I came down here.
This 100% tracks. For anybody on the internet that doesn't know this, there's actually a very large Louisianian population in Alaska for 2 reasons. 1, pipeline. 2, Alaska is so large, if there's a warrant for you down here in the lower 48, they have the same number of officers you do in a parish for an area larger than the state of Louisiana. I found this out by going to Alaska and dealing with the Louisianians that were up there that had, went up there to avoid a search warrant. God bless this state.
Wow.
Look, no, that and crab boats have Louisianians on them up there all the time, because you tell Cajuns that there's money to be made, and you go and get them a bug on the bottom of the ocean floor that's like this big around, and then his legs are even bigger. All they're hearing is, "I can make so much gumbo." So I mean,
all right. So
I'm gimping my way to the truck.
We get in, gonna crank it, see if it starts.
It starts.
Gonna look at Arteloth. I think there's a first aid kit somewhere in the back seat.
Nope, I've got it, and I'm gonna use magic to heal up.
Okay.
Gonna sit there. I'm a little tingly that after punching it this hand, like it's pins and needles. I'm assuming it's worse for you.
You're not wrong. So I've just got a 7 on a heal.
Okay.
So that's gonna be effect and glitch.
You glow now.
That they get to choose the glitch. I get to determine what happens.
Neysa.
Okay.
Neysa, you should go with draws unwanted attention, and you're just glowing because it's the Christmas season. You're the Christmas spirit, Arteloth.
Oh well.
But it says unwelcome attention. That means that it'll summon another minion.
Or
I'll choose problematic side effect and trust my fate to the keeper. But I need that 1 heal.
I think it was going to draw in the old dude that's over there trying to get his wife's wreath.
You start to go into the Christmas light patterns as you are healing yourself, and then that this effect will be going on.
Oh my God!
Until y'all make it to Church Street Bridge.
So Arteloth is just red, green, blue, orange, yellow, red, green, blue, yellow, orange.
While we're driving over there, I need to heal up my other one, so I'm gonna have
All
to make
right.
a second magic roll.
Okay.
But those 2 dice are trying to kill me, so what are the odds of rolling 2, 2, 2, and 2 on 4 separate d20 in 2 rolls?
D20. I mean D6.
Or d6s, yeah, the stupid thing. What are the odds? Like, what are the odds? Like, that's insane. Another 7. So give me another problematic side effect. Am I now playing Christmas music out my ass? Like,
No, no. That the other problematic side effect is that as y'all are listening to that the radio just starts just start blending like that. I'm pretty sure that it is like Christian Christmas music playing up in Cyrus's truck. So it is basically starting to go with just like hardcore. You have somehow tapped up into like this this Norwegian death metal is mixing with just the Christian gospel music.
Praise him.
All right, so then y'all are basically
I'm gonna pretend that I had nothing to do with this.
Gonna just hit the button to turn it off and realize it's not turning off. The volume won't turn down either.
And then that as the y'all are basically making it, like making it there, that that it is basically that like Deputy Luther Roberts is there on at the scene that since that y'all had kind of got delayed, and then that it is basically that you see like that this absolute unit of like a black woman built like that she is built like if that Serena Williams and basically any type of wrestler chick had a baby, and then that she is built like a unit, and then that you just see that you just see like Michael Martin is just like trying to yell at this woman, and she's just like, and then that you can hear just at the tail end of this, like, I don't give a damn where it came from. You know that you shouldn't be messing with that. And then that Roberts is like, oh, what? That I thought that y'all were going to be here as soon as possible. Anything happen?
Lightning.
But that's not what the weather said.
Lightning.
So was that that Riggs any help?
Yes.
All right, and then that we may want to go in and try to de-escalate that situation because that Miss Sanchez over there, she does not play, even though that she know how to make a mean good peach cobbler good.
I love Spence's little towns because like we're about to have a huge fight, but we're still going to compliment everybody's cooking. Like even the bad guy, like all of a sudden this giant Thunderbird man comes down. Yes, I will destroy you all except for Elizabeth and that shoe fly pie she makes. That is phenomenal. And her biscuits are great. So we're good. Everyone else, what do you got?
I want to walk over toward Martin.
Oh, Martin?
No, toward Martin. Like come up behind him and put a hand on his shoulder, and I'm gonna try my ghostly Jedi mind trick stuff and tell him that he should probably get home. You should probably go check on your wife. With all the weather changing, it's better to make sure that family is safe first, more than possessions.
Alright, then roll a charm.
And since I've got a natural appeal, I get to roll weird instead.
Finding ways to get abilities to work around what you have a negative in. Yes. My hand disappeared when I did that.
Experience.
That he is basically like with just like all due respect, Mr. Beckwith, that that some like even though that she may be the safety coordinator of just at the arrangement of that the lights, that I am not Now that you know that reef is the goddamn centerpiece of this whole shindig, and then that I don't give a flying fuck what she says right now. And then at this point, that you just see her just looking like she's about to hulk out on this man.
I'm walking up after seeing that Arteloth has tried to de-escalate this. To make sure I'm understanding something here, Keeper? There is not currently a fire. They are just keeping everything roped off from what happened the other day, and he's wanting to get the reef down.
That whenever like something like electrical burns were involved, usually that the fire marshal is also involved too.
Okay, so gonna walk up behind the very much a Karen of a gentleman, and slowly whisper under my breath, "Lord, please give me strength." And I'm going to try to get him in a arm bar behind his back, so I can then escort him away from the situation over towards where he can be sat down and kept safe.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll, I guess this is kick some ass.
Yeah.
Which I get the roll weird. That is a 8.
All right, then. So you don't. I am going to say that with just your martial arts training, that you can basically get him just up into like an arm bar, but then he's just going to just straight up just elbow you for one harm. And just like, what the hell?
I don't take any of that. He just elbows me in my shirt.
And then he's just like, what the hell is this?
Officer, we need to sit him down. He is sounding like he is getting hysterical. It sounds like we might even have to get an EMT over here to apply some ice packs and or a sedative to keep him calm. It sounds like he is starting to go into a manic state over a wreath while you're currently doing your full investigation.
Right. Understood that like State Trooper LaRue has always said that you folks are like assholes and bad, but y'all are that y'all are good in my book.
I absolutely have no clue who that state trooper is, and I'm going to start dragging him over towards another cop car to stick him in it, just to be like, you go in timeout now. You go in timeout now.
Give me a act under pressure for that.
I can assume he's not going quietly.
That's a 9.
Okay then. Then that. Do you want the worst outcome, hard choice, or price to pay?
What would be the price to pay, DM or Keeper?
Price to pay is that that another squad car that is not part of this investigation will show up and then see you basically assaulting a citizen.
Dang, that feels like a worse outcome more than a price to pay. What about a hard choice?
The hard choices is that that you will get them there, that you can basically get them there, but that the door is locked, or just that you can get them there, or else you can get him inside the vehicle, but he will basically kick you in the face as that you just toss him in there.
I'll do that.
All right, and so then he with just at his 10.5 Docker zone, he just kicks you in the face.
Okay.
That, of course, that your armor soaks that up.
Yeah, just get kicked in the face and just close the door. Sir, calm down. We will get the wreath, but you cannot cross a police line. You will go to actual jail. Right now, you're just in big kid timeout.
And you just hear him just like, I have friends in high places. I know politicians, especially the one that won $1 trillion.
Okay, that is well and good. That is fine. But let me tell you about another higher power. He's a carpenter.
Oh no.
And then, I know who the Lord is. Shit.
With the way you're acting, sir, I do not think you do. Let me tell you a little story about a man named Josiah. And I'm flashback to Arteloth as I am now going to intentionally recite an Old Testament story until this dude starts to calm down in the back of a cop car.
Meanwhile, that like that Arteloth, that you just see just this massive athletic woman just kind of doing some heavy
While
breathing,
Cyrus
like
is handling the Karen.
right.
Jesus,
Whew.
take the wheel.
Oh Lord, just thank y'all because that y'all had came just up in the nick of time before that his ass was about to be thrown up into the river. Oh, that I am terribly sorry that the name is Glenda Sanchez. That my pappy was a Mexican, but that's okay. You know. And you might be
Arteloth Beckett, deputy. I lost his name again. Luther, Robert.
Luther
Luther
Roberts.
Roberts. Okay. Uh, Deputy Roberts had brought us in on contracting, consulting. Need to cross the line there and get a closer look at a few things, if you don't mind.
Oh yes, absolutely. Then I was just like investigating all of this faulty wiring that it just seemed like then that it was cut, but I never seen no blade cut like that. Then as you basically like look at it, it just looked like that it was more kind of like pierced by dragging up and snipped almost by like as if a talon slashed through it or something.
Right. Is the where is the wreath the wreath that's been all the problem here?
Oh, that it is just up in like the middle, just of that the bridge and such. But then that thing is mighty big. But I had tried to tell him after that I had basically recognized it because you see that I had saw on that this television program. It was on that the History Channel about that about that the indigenous folks up north, and that they got this territorial spirit that basically, that they were talking about like different variations or whatever. But then that anyway, then that apparently like Mr. Martin did something that is a federal crime, and then he had took something off of a reservation he shouldn't have because that his bitch of a wife had wanted some pretty feathers on a goddamn Christmas wreath.
Don't do that ever. Okay, I'm done.
Like I had it figured out like a while ago, but like we had to get to this point.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah. Okay, so but
So-
I need I need
so-
a clarification on like positioning though. Is the wreath hanging like above the bridge, or is it like hanging off one of the sides of the bridge?
You
Like
can
over the road
see
underneath, or
Like, can you drive under it, or is it mounted on the side, Spence? So if you're coming down on either side of the Red River that goes through Natchitoches, that you can see it.
you can definitely see it that if that you are like driving on the side of it, that it is like smack dab in that the middle.
Okay, so it's
of
on one
the
of the
bridge.
it's on one of the
Okay, so
middle
it's not-
trusses.
so it's not hanging above the bridge, it's hanging off the side of the bridge?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
And then
Alright.
that it is kind of like
Um,
interlooped with all of the wires and lights and such.
All right.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
I'm
So
not there. I'm not there. But Hewitt is pissed
Right.
because somebody like
Right.
the concept here. Somebody done took something off the Reds they ought not to. One, you shouldn't know. Two, this hits like everything of you done fucked up, Ron, and now you might be allowed to deal with it your goddamn self, as far as I'm concerned. But that is not
So,
Cyrus.
I want to. Arteloth is going to walk to the railing where he could maybe look down onto the wreath.
Uh-huh.
Well, hold on. Is this
Can I
is this like
see-
is this a suspension? Is this Spence like the old train trestle type bridges, or is this like the more modern like concrete sides to the bridge, and this is hanging down like over the river?
Let me see, because it has been a while since that I have seen Natchitoches.
I mean, I also think there's a couple bridges through Natchitoches that go over the Red River, but it's
Okay.
out of character. Neysa, are we about to have to like return this? Like
It is kind of like on like that the driving through that it is kind of like that the concrete. It is kind of like a mixture from like the pictures that I'm seeing to where then that they got that the lights and stuff strung up on like trussels and stuff, but then that you can kind of like see it kind of like a little bit more on the lower end, kind of like the big centerpiece.
So is this up above the road level, or is this like equal to or slightly below road level? That thing.
Below road level.
Okay, there we go.
So, can I walk along the bridge to then lean over to look at the damn thing?
Yes, that you can clearly see it plain as day, that this beautiful ornate Christmas wreath that is kind of like has that black and that that the blue and then white Christmas, and then there that you see like at least about 10 of these feathers
Right. So it's
interwoven.
the feather. The feathers look like the
The
other feathers that we've seen.
right.
Is there anything else in the wreath that could perhaps have been taken from the res, or just the feathers?
Give me a investigative mystery, Cyrus. Give me a read a bad situation.
All right.
As that heavy
Alright,
snow and wind start.
My investigative mystery is an 8.
All right, you got one question on that.
I'm going to be spending a luck.
Ooh.
The problem is Arteloth
I don't
is
know.
Arteloth is my first is the negative thing that happened for me.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not like a
That
flashback.
tracks.
It's not like so. I mean, like my constantly when I spend luck, if Arteloth is there, it's like I am immediately reminded of the bullcrap. Like I don't even have to spend luck. I just look over at Arteloth. I'm like, this is why I lost my job. Okay, cool, and keep going. So I'm gonna spend a luck on that read a bad situation.
Okay. So let's get the investigative mystery out the way first.
So what is being concealed here, specifically anything beyond the feathers that I know need to go back to the res?
You see just like up in like at the centerpiece that is kind of like holding that the bow steady is kind of like this totem almost of that this tribe that you just see that this or that you just see that this ornate wooden that you just see that this or you see this ornate wooden totem that basically has that a small little figure that looks like a man bird combination thing.
Oh my god, these people are so. I hate them. I hate them so bad.
All right then. Now then that what is your questions on your read a bad situation? You get 3.
I get 3. So I'm pretty sure we've. You know what? I'm gonna ask the obvious one. What's the biggest threat? As I look up from telling him about how Josiah tamed the lions with the words of the Lord.
That the biggest threat right now is that you see heavy snow, and then that the lights and stuff start to kind of like flicker like street lights and stuff, and then Luther and then like Sanchez are like, the hell?
All right. Okay. So watching like in the distance, it's like watching lights go, and like they're going out the closer this is getting to us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's the vert as my phone went off. Hold on a second. Okay.
Yeah, I was having to do some notifications too.
Well, I've also got my mother asking Christmas questions right now, so I'm addressing those here in a minute. Next question. Okay, that one doesn't. I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this one. Is get people inside. What's going to be the best way out or get away from this?
Leave the bridge.
Okay, get off the bridge. Okay. I got a feeling that's going to be the answer to the best way to protect the victims. You know, I'm going to go with the other obvious one. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed yet?
Yes, it is. Arteloth, as that you are basically kind of like looking down at this reef and such, that Cyrus, that you start to hear somebody, it sounds like a man just like, leave this place, mine, and then you just see just like what appears to be something flying, and then it basically 3-point landing style in the middle of the bridge with just like that this electrical current, that these big boisterous blue black wings are coming in that like chiseled, like that this is a 14 pack, that this is not a 6-pack, 14 pack, standing in at just like a very, very, very lovely 15 foot 2. It has the head of a bull, and then it basically has like burly human, just massive guns, and then it has talons,
Okay, yo.
and then it's just looking around at all of you.
Okay, hold on. Before we do this, my mom just sent me a picture that my child made a to-do list for him and Pawpaw. Onto the movie, eat popcorn, play game, be with Pawpaw, eat ice cream. Somebody get me dinner. Okay.
That's adorable.
Anyway,
Legit.
so I'm gonna look at the cop. All right, you need to get every last single person inside and away from this right now, like right now.
He is busy just like taking out his Android and filming. Like, hell no, I gotta protect y'all.
Get them inside. You are protecting them, getting them inside.
I am too, but I just gotta catch this shit. I'm about to make some money on the National Enquirer.
Is the beefy cop also saying the same type of thing?
That she is just on like looking at this like, who in the fuck you think you is? And then as she like cracks her knuckles, and then she's about to try to fight this thing.
Oh no. Oh, good Lord. Okay, so this is what I would like to do.
Okay.
In the odd way that I will use magic.
Okay.
Good Lord, please allow me to do something that is inhumanly possible.
Okay. What do you want to do?
To make everybody
magic exists.
To make everybody listen to me. I'm doing the whole thing. This is how he does a spell for just use magic.
Okay.
One thing that is inhumanly possible. So I'm declaring in canon what my intended intent is for everybody to listen and flee to safety. Maybe specifically to one of your places of worship within this good town, so that they may also take in the fellowship and brotherhood that is known within you. So now I'm going to roll weird.
Okay.
Do something inhuman. Get everybody to go to church.
Okay.
Manipulate.
Wow.
No, this is not manipulating anybody. I'm using weird to like have some type of divine intervention. Oh,
Come to Jesus meeting.
That is an 11. That is an
so
11.
That you basically see that Glinda is about to square up and just like, oh shit, I got to go to church. I got to go get my hymn book. I got to go in there and get my Sunday vest, but I am already dressed for it. And then that Luther is just like, all right, it is Sanchez, let's go. Martin, however, is just kind of like...
Martin's in the cop car.
Oh, he's still...
Yeah.
He ain't getting out. I don't know this yet, but Martin is 100% responsible for this bull crap.
And then that Martin is just like, I need to go in there. I just need to go in there and repent for the Lord. So then it'll basically be like,
how is he getting out of the cop car?
They are gone.
How is
Martin is in effect? And then you just hear a voice to say like, Cyrus, that is very good. Continue to do good job. Thank you.
Martin's not getting out of the cop car.
Oh,
he's just like having a in the back.
I need to go. I'm sorry. I have been such an asshole to everybody in this town for so many years. I stole from the poor Indians. I need to go to Jesus and ask forgiveness.
Martin's like turned around on the seat, like got his elbows propped on the back dash like a altar bench. Just like
right. All right, then it is Arteloth, and then as you basically hear the commotion, you just see that this Pamela is just standing up, cracking his head and just like
I want to turn and face it, and I want to say, I will help you retrieve your people's things if you give me but a moment.
give me a manipulate someone.
Okay.
Yes,
Technically, can I use my unnatural appeal even though it's not a manipulate monster?
You don't have the move to
'Cause, like,
manipulate
there's a
monsters?
No, that's
Okay.
Dark Negotiator, and I took unnatural appeal. So
Okay.
technically, manipulate monster is different from
Yeah.
manipulate person.
Unfortunately,
So
that
can I use my unnatural appeal with this or not?
I'm gonna have to say a no on this one.
So then it's just gonna be a beautiful flat roll. Now y'all fucked me over like 5 times in the last 10 minutes. Please stop. Hells yes, that's 11. That's a 6 and a 5.
Nice.
That you basically like see it basically about to like rev up and basically just kind of just stamping just like you better make it quick.
And I'm going to immediately turn back, and I want to, using my flight and my incorporeality, I want to go down and start gently extracting the feathers and removing the totem and basically gathering all of this out as respectfully and quickly as possible. I realize it might take
me an
some
act
time,
under
but
pressure.
Okay.
Give me an act under pressure.
I'm gonna look out. Arteloth, do you need help?
you could come and grab.
There is a rather large man made out of lightning and feathers that seems like he might disagree with that.
Stay there. Damn it.
Lord Pomela?
Oh no. What did you roll?
Oh no.
I'm deciding on whether or not I spend a luck. I only have 2 left, but I don't think I can afford to let this fail, so...
Unless you want to fight it while I try to get stuff. Which is not going to go any better, I guarantee it.
Nope. Fuck it. I've got 2 luck to spend. My next level up was going to be removing a luck. I will spend a luck to make that a success because I don't want to boost fail on that.
All right, and that as you are basically trying to like carefully like undo that these tangles and stuff, you almost drop the totem into the Red River, but you catch it.
Oh, that would have been so bad.
And then that you basically put it just kind of like neatly back up in the just at the bow that you like that you basically like undo that the Karen bow, and then you basically tourniquet this reef, and then
I mean, could I not use like the pockets on my coat to like so that I still
that you
have
can do
free
that.
hand?
You can do that.
Like, I could be smart. I'm not exactly stupid.
Because that would have been very bad. And
yeah,
then
no duh.
Yeah, and then you basically come up. Now it is Cyrus's turn. What do you want to do?
Lord Pamela, can I help my friend get up with your people's blessed artifacts so that he don't fall down?
Give me a manipulate someone.
God, I was working more on this. Would be a request. I'm not trying to manipulate. I'm literally asking permission. I'm not trying to be sneaky here. I am literally asking permission from the 15-foot tall Warhammer figure that just fell out of the goddamn sky with lightning and snow. Okay? I got all the vanillas out of there except for butthole in the back of a cop car.
So that instead that he's going to be like, if you help, this is my territory. Steal nothing.
I promise, Lord Pamela, do you actually have a proper name that your people call you?
No, that you can just call me P, Mr. P.
Oh my God, Spence. I will throw a shoe at you the next time I see you. Mr. P? The freaking peacock from New Orleans?
No. I can't come up. Well, no, that you can just call me Peter. Then that's fine.
All right, Lord Peter, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to help my good friend of the last couple months up. I'm going
And
to
he just keeps glaring at you. And
just,
as that you are like walking by, then that you just see just like just three of these these electric minions come out and just are like all looking at you walk towards Arteloth.
all righty, mean mug, that's fine. I understand. They did you dirty. I'm just going to come over. Arteloth, how do I help you? I feel like I was trying to be helpful, but I might have overstepped my bounds.
I'll fly up and pull out whatever I've got in my pockets so far to give to him, to give to them, and then go back down to keep plucking.
Okay,
He is gonna.
We'll come over with some of the feathers because they're 2 feet across, right? So like, walk over and present them like I'm handing up a sword or something.
And then he takes it like, oh, thank you. And then that I just want the whole circle of leaves.
Oh, you want the wreath too?
Yes. It has been sacred.
Hearing that, I'm gonna start like undoing whatever's holding the wreath to the.
Hold on, Lord Peter. You're saying did they steal the whole wreath from you, not just the feathers and the totem?
No, that my people's feathers have been tainted by just at that wreath, so therefore it is mine.
Okay. He's saying that, kind of like if you lick it, it's yours, Arteloth. So hold on.
I'm willing to give him the damn wreath.
Hold on, don't untie it just yet. It's on the side that they had to have a piece of equipment. The 2 of us are not getting that. Excuse me, Lord Peter, and I'm gonna go back over and knock on the cop car window. Hey, old man, what was his name? Hewitt forgot.
Martin.
Mr. Martin, did y'all use a forklift or a backhoe to get that there?
No, that we had used that we had basically used a lift on a boat.
Where is that lift and boat?
I mean that it is down at the docks, but then that they sleep in clothes and.
All right, I got another idea. Go back. They gotta come running back over. He said they used a lift on a boat. You don't have like supernatural ghost strength, do you? Is that a thing?
No. I'm gonna come back up on the bridge and I'm going to look at the pomola and take it if you want it.
Hold on.
We won't stop you.
Hold on. I got another idea, Arteloth. I'm going to walk over here so I don't offend you because I know this is not your religion. I'm going to go over to the edge of the bridge where the wreath is and put my hands together.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lord, you did a huge one for me earlier. You really helped me out by helping me do something that is not humanly possible. I might need you, good Lord, to do that again to help us move this wreath over to this big birdly man that seems to be most mad at what these people have done here to disrespect him and his people. So it would be super great if you could lend me your might to move this wreath somewhere to where he could claim it and then leave all of your good children in this town alone, including the sir that did this, unless you don't want to. If he is to pay the price of his sins, I will not stop you, O Lord, for invoking your retribution upon him. He is less than pleasant.
Give me a weird roll.
Can I offer help?
Yes.
Because I mean, Arteloth is also Christian too, so that's why.
I'm spending luck because that was that was Snake Eyes.
Something happens whenever you try to help. So where is help?
No, nothing happens when you fail on a help roll.
Okay.
It just doesn't give them any help.
Yeah, it might sometimes draw attention to you, I think, in certain. No, that's protect
I feel like we're already at the center of attention. So
we are standing.
Then that, you try to do something, and then that like that you can see like one of like the moose eyebrow just kind of raise up like the rock and just like looks at you. But
I
then
was
that
just gonna be silently praying too, but like I'm a ghost, so I feel like God doesn't listen anyway. So it's just
Hello,
like your
God.
call
It's
did
me.
not connect.
Hello, God. It's me, Arteloth. New number.
so
Who
then
dis?
that it is basically that throughout just basically that with your sight, Arteloth, you basically see like I have to do this. That you actually see like a Viking s angel shows up like this black woman that is kind of like got her hair in dreads and stuff and just like here you go y'all. I am just gonna set that right here.
Hey,
And then that you can Mr. Arteloth and Mr. Cyrus, you can tell Sybil I said, hey.
and when she leaves, go and lean over to Arteloth. Hey, Arteloth, I think I actually got Jesus to take the wheel.
And then that you then that
I'm
then
gonna
that you then that then that you basically hear like, well, Cyrus, it is gonna be okay. That Michael Martin, he will that he now that he will pay for just this transgression on his own.
That's
And
actually
then
that might be one of the scariest things I think I've heard. God just all of a sudden goes, "Yeah, I got him." Uh oh. Oh.
so basically
Oh
then
no.
that the reef is centered, that the minions kind of like zip away as basically like that, you know, that it was about to get a little bit more like more just like cold, but the temperature kind of sort of like picks back up to like the low 30s. And then that, you know, that the then that the pomelo is just like that this would be good for my people. Where is the one that who had took it?
He is in that cop car right over there. Right there. If I point too hard, all of me disappears from the screen. So that's kind of weird.
That could you bring him to me? That is my final request.
My question is, what exactly do you intend to do to him, good sir?
He has done ill will to my people, so that it is basically an eye for an eye. I am not going to ask that as much as I would like to destroy him. He is going on a journey with me.
Arteloth, are we allowed?
I'm walking over to the cop car.
Just turn around.
I know
Arteloth,
it.
just already like there's a little dotted line of where Arteloth was standing next to me. He's like, I'm already going to get this guy. I'm over here having like, I said it would be okay, but I'm starting to have a moral quandary. Lord Peter, can I please ask exactly what you intend to do to him if you're taking him on a journey?
You will see. Meanwhile, that at the cop car, then that you just see him just scritched up all the way far back. It's just like, what in the hell, God name is that? What the fuck is that? And he just screaming nonstop.
I'm gonna phase through the car.
And then he's just
so
like, oh no, hell no! And then he is trying to do the car, but knowing that it's the back of a cop car that there's no unlocking.
You can't even
I'm
do
gonna,
like.
I'm gonna get in the guy's face. This could have been a lot worse. You could have gotten a lot of people killed. You're going to do right by the people in this town you live in, yes? Good. And then I want to use magic to like pull him through the car with me.
Go
like
ahead.
we're not doing this normally.
All right, then let's see.
I want to freak this motherfucker out.
We're about to sacrifice somebody.
5, 4, 3 makes 12.
You easily just basically just do like that the Danny Phantom thing of just grabbing him, making him just incorporeal as well, and then that I am taking it, then that he you know that he is trying to squirm but he can't because that you have rolled so high, and then that you know like that the pomelo is just looking like good that's him, and then that the one that you know that the one that who had the weird haircut.
I'll push the guy down and be like, we don't hurt women in this century, so you can have him.
You have done a service to my people. And then he just basically just picks him up and just basically that everyone give me a weird roll.
8.
9.
Okay. So that y'all get so then that what that y'all see is that first of all that y'all notice that basically that those nice clean khakis are not so clean anymore. Secondly, then that you get the idea that he's doing a vision journey mental state and then just pushing this man through something. Something because that you see like glowing lights and stuff are coming from this man's eyes, like surges of like electricity, and then that whenever that he puts him down, that he's like he has like smoke coming from his ears, but he is still alive, but he is still looking worse for wears, but he isn't unstable. And he's like, I hope you have learned your lesson. And then he just basically punches him in the gut, but not killing him, but he basically goes up off the ground and then just lands flat on his stomach. And then just like y'all may have good smelling food, but I want to come back here on my own terms. That this bridge is no longer mine. That this town of Natchitoches can basically have its original owners. And it just flies, and then it just slowly just turns up into like lightning and just flies up north fast.
Arteloth.
Did he take the wreath with him?
Yes.
Arteloth, I need to know something. You've been around a while. He just said back to its original owners. Do you know how to get a hold of the Caddo Reservation over in Oklahoma? Because I think he just gave the land back to them, and I don't think the government can argue. You know what? I'll look it up. I can Google. Should we be concerned about
Just for that, remove a point of luck because that was great. That was beautiful. Remove a point of luck.
The both of us, or just him?
Cyrus. Just Cyrus.
And then gonna look down. And lean down to Martin. What did we learn?
Try to appease your wife, and don't listen. And he just passes out because that punch looked like it hurt.
We're gonna look up at Arteloth. I don't think he learned the right lesson.
Happy wife and not so happy life.
No, I think the lesson he needed to learn was don't steal stuff from the Indian reservation. Also, he went all the way to Maine. He went all the way to Maine to steal this. Do you know how far that is?
Period.
Yeah, don't. Well, I mean,
at this point that that the power surges come out, that the temperature levelizes to like normal, like Louisiana winter. So it is about like
we're already
55,
we're already
tonight.
sweating in our rubber boots and our jackets.
Well, that's why we got the wool socks though, so we're not. So it's wicking properly.
And then that it's just basically Luther Robertson and that Marie. And then that Miss Glenda Sanchez come up and be like, "Are y'all good? Are y'all good? You know what in the world happened?"
I'll pick up the guy by the scruff of his neck and kind of push him toward Sanchez. That one might need medical attention.
He
almost fell off the bridge.
Yeah, he almost fell off the bridge. He also grabbed some of the electrical lights. He took a little bit of a jolt. Some of them not grounded. You're going to need to get somebody back out here from the Christmas committee. Some of these ain't grounded right. These have to be 50-year-old Christmas lights.
Yeah, I had tried in the river too. I don't think it's worth it to try to dredge it up.
Motherfucker, I tried to tell your ass about using lights from like 1970s and shit. I told you to go with the ones on Amazon I have recommended. I swear people do not listen to me. But I do thank y'all fine folks for this. And anything else that we should know about where? And then she just kind of like walks over like, where is the wreath? What happened?
When he was messing with the lights, he knocked the wires loose when he took that jolt. His wife's gonna be awful ticked off at him, but he knocked it down in there and it went down. It's gone. You ain't getting it out of there.
Oh shit. I mean that we don't got time and you know what? You know what? After doing some digging and such, and then at this point, and then this point, that like for some odd reason, both of y'all give me a sharp roll.
8.
7.
Both of y'all don't both of y'all notice that like a out of town car comes in, but then it has like I gotta actually be accurate because that's just how I work.
Love Roo?
No. Mm-mm.
No.
Is it gonna be Darius?
Uh.
Oh no,
Is
it's
it
the,
creepy, pink Cerberus Chihuahua lady?
or is it the
No,
or
it's
is it
something much worse.
the professor?
No. No. That it is basically like the main state trooper emblem is on this car. And then that they come out, it is basically a man and then a woman, and then that they are just coming out just like, oh, hello, how are y'all doing?
I don't.
That this is that my name is State Trooper Ronald Green, and then that this is my cohort Cheryl, and we are basically here to somebody had stole something from a reservation we had heard.
Point directly at Martin.
Oh, that we had donuts. We had donuts together at the Bob Evans. That this man is from Louisiana, and then that they just yank him up like oh, thank you. That we are gonna have to bring you in for some questioning, and then that you have some very angry indigenous folks at you. We will have to do this over the police station Skype because that I am not driving 16 and a half hours again to get here.
You may also want to talk to his wife. I hear that she was also a bit involved in the theft.
She's culpable.
And then that they just go like, thank you. And then that they just basically drive, and then that then that you also hear a voice, Cyrus, that said, well, then that you see, Cyrus, I told you.
Arteloth,
Mm-hmm.
God's talking directly to me. I'm having the best day of my life.
Good for you. I want to pull out. I want to pull out my checkbook, and I'm writing a like $1,000 check to Natchitoches Christmas Fund or whatever. Like, and I'm gonna hand it over to Glenda. I guess she would
Yes.
be one of the only people that's still left here. So I'll hand that check over to her for some better decorations so that the town's not without this Christmas.
Oh, that this is a kindly generous donation from y'all. You see there, Luther, that you see that's why we like to deal with people from up north. Then that they are nice, and then that they are so generous. Then that they are always. Are you also from England?
Once upon a time, and I'm just gonna turn and walk back to the truck.
You see that it is going to be a Christmas miracle, and then I just want to know what the hell that sleazebag Martin did. And then that Luther is like, I got to do official police duty. That was an awesome experience. I will tell Officer LaRue everything that she probably would just say that I'm making up stories. But thank y'all for doing this. Seriously, that y'all are awesome.
Just another day in the Lord's work.
Then that y'all have a safe and happy Merry Christmas, and then that then that y'all can stay. That then that there is a hotel that y'all get to probably stay at the Comfort Suites in just like down the road. Just tell them that. Just put it on like Deputy Roberts tab. Then I would take care of that. That y'all don't worry about that. That y'all go get y'all some rest. So then that y'all have to. Then that y'all been driving all day. That y'all don't need to drive all night. Especially since that that the roads and stuff may still be slick, and then that some of this electrical storm and stuff stopped. So that's a good thing.
We had us a straight up thunder snow.
Yep.
In central Louisiana.
And with
All
that,
'cause some asshat.
that is the end of slashing through the snow.
I kind of really love it.
It was
Yay.
nice. It was nice, Spence. I
Alrighty
like
then, thank you.
I like the option that you gave us to not have us fight the monster because I think
Oh, that I would just say this. One attack
No.
alone does 3 harm, ignore armor. So
Okay.
anyway, that as at the end of Monster of the Week games, we have to do like follow-up questions for our hunters. So did we conclude the current mystery?
yep.
Yes.
Did we save someone from death or worse?
Definitely.
The cop, the fire marshal.
Okay. That did we learn something new and important about the world?
Somebody will literally drive to Maine to steal stuff from one of the few Indian reservations up there just so they can make their wife happy.
Fucking Karens, man.
Also, there was a ghost podcast on a Christian network, or a ghost show, hunting show on a Christian network. I think that's interesting and funny as hell to me.
All right. I will accept all these answers. And that did we learn something new and important about one of our hunters?
Arteloth's calling card has been revoked to heaven.
Yeah, God don't answer prayers from Arteloth. Ghosts are
I
not.
don't know all about that.
Ghosts
At least whenever that I am keeper.
Ghosts apparently don't get covered by the insurance plan for heaven. Sorry, you're out of network. We can't receive your call.
Oh. And then on that note, that I would just say thank you guys for just playing this. And then that we know that it can be a 2 hunter experience. You just gotta just tone it down a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching it, and I will give it over to Miro to do some closing remarks and such.
Okay, everybody, it is a little bit after 5, so here in about an hour and a half, we'll be back with the last live stream game for everything. The Troop of Tree Trimmers, run by Frecky V. It is a Goblin Errands game. I'll be reprising my role as Old Crabapple. Oh my God, I've done another almost 2 days of nothing but playing games. So that's going to be our last one for this part of the weekend. Again, this is all part of the Extra Life weekend, which is a charity stream and drive for us. We are currently at $1,304 out of our $1,500 goal. We're only $200 away, people. If somebody could please donate, we would greatly appreciate it, because all proceeds will go to the Children Miracle Network of hospitals, specifically Children of Jackson / Batson's Children over in Mississippi. Please, if you can, give anything. No donation is too small. All proceeds go to them, and they help families not worry about paying medical bills for their children. So if you can donate, please do. So yeah, that's what we got going on, and we'll be back here in a little bit. And during Frecky's game, we will have a giveaway, because she'd never sent me that it was open. So, but it'll definitely open during this last game. There will be, I think, a $100 gift code giveaway for Steam video game codes that Frecky and Grave have put together over the last year or so. So if you want to do that, you will just have to put, I think it's !raffle in the chat. But we'll be back in a little bit more than an hour. And thank you, Spence, for running the game. And since Knox is not here, don't let your meatloaf.
All right, thank you guys.
I know there's a delay on my end.